And honestly, John, I have something to say to you. I offered you the right hand of fellowship for something that you did publicly, which I respected you for. You publicly apologized to Adam for your characterization of him, for your critique of him, for what I thought was an unfair judgment of you, as well as the other 10 people that were in the room that day, which you agreed and you observed and you admitted that they didn't agree with you. And then you finally apologized for it weeks later. You and I could have buried the hatchet like day one had you just simply offered that apology to Adam from day one instead of weeks later. And let me tell you something, John. I did that unequivocally when I unblocked you. But I had you blocked for weeks. There was no drama in my room instigated by you. And honestly, my rooms had gone pretty peaceful because you were kind of the only person I noticed that was sucking wind out of the room in every room you went. And by the way, John, I had 9 back channel comments about you complaining that you were lighting rooms on fire, attacking new baby Christians, and preventing people from coming to the gospel. And I've mentioned those to you by name. I'll say it right now. Bubby. You attacked Bubby, who is an atheist, who was a moderator of these atheist rooms, and he felt that you were an impediment to him coming to the gospel, coming to Christ. And you missed out on his conversion experience because you were so concerned about being a blowhard. And then me pointing it out to you made you, in your own estimation, made me 10 times worse than Adam. You told me so to my face. You said that Adam didn't. Not only does Adam have an appalling spirit, yours is something else, Silver. And let me tell you. No, John, you're not going to tell me because no one agreed with your assessments, John. And so, and then I gave you that right hand of fellowship. I forgave you by unblocking you. You never offered me an apology, and I was okay with that. Fine, because all I really wanted you to do was apologize to Adam. And then what did you do? You go on to freaking Tom Rabbit, and you basically nullified your apology to Adam. Well, Silver comes up in my room and cornered me and forced me into an apology. And Tom Rabbit was like, yeah, those Christians didn't treat you right, John. John, Tom Rabbit didn't know the histrionics that were already predating my confrontation with you that ended up on Tom Rabbit. Me asking you to apologize to Adam. You had been blocked out of my rooms, and I didn't come into that room pinged by Adam or you because you weren't able to ping me. Why? Because you're blocked. And so I had 3 people saying, John is requesting that you come into his room. He wants to clear the air with you. He'd like you to get him unblocked. And I'm like, is he going to apologize? They said, yeah, he's ready to do that. I said, really? And then I'm interested. So then I come into your room, really quite uninterested prior to that, having no idea the dumpster fire that you'd lit with Connie. I had no idea that. I was listening and listening. I ascertained the facts. Okay, this stuff is caught up with John in the fact that he screwed up with Darth and Connie. I could care less about Darth and your apology to him, which was pathetic. It was such groveling. It was sickening. And then here you are negating what had happened to Connie. And then, but don't, see, here was the whole thing. Connie kind of deserved it. She was, speaking against, pro-life. And she was, saying things that were positive of Billy Graham. That was your sycophant, Mark, your good buddy from years back, as you pointed out. Kept coming after me like some weird lapdog. And I was like, I don't even know who Mark is. But then you identified him like, got it. So then I said, okay, John, why in the hell did you do this? Why did you denigrate and take back your apology if it was ever sincere in the first place? Why? Because maybe it wasn't sincere, John. Do you see what you did to your own integrity there? It wasn't sincere. You thought you were attacking me and Adam by saying we were cornering you and taking up with Tom Rabbit and rather clarifying that we had some history and that there was a problem there. I didn't know that you were being castigated for your treatment of Connie. Because that fact that she hasn't been on Clubhouse for years, you're in a daily conversation with her and she's got cell phone reception. Oh, bullpucky. She's not on Clubhouse because she's embarrassed. She was crying in public and made to be a spectacle of and people ridicule her. Who'd want to come back to Clubhouse after that? So, right, it's all her remote reception. Give me a break, man. Quit being so disingenuous. Quit being a LARPer. Quit coming up on Clubhouse, trying to make a name for yourself, and bitching and moaning that I blocked you out of rooms that somehow makes me ungodly and not a Christian. There was a reason and a process that I came after you the way I did. I exposed you in the moment that you were attacking Adam, accusing him of being judgmental, pointing your finger at him when you had 3 pointing right back at you, John, and 9 other people in the room who were on the stage with us all unanimously agreed that you were unfairly attacking Adam. And I actually gave you an opportunity to shine as a Christian, and you missed the boat. For you to say, everyone here is right, I must be wrong, that I'm unfairly attacking Adam, I'm being the judgmental one, even though that's what I'm accusing the Reformed Christians of being. You are the judgmental one, John. You're the one who's two-faced and a weasel. Now that's my assessment of you because of what you just did on Tom Rabbit. It's not ad hominem. That's not ad hominem.
Well,
it's based on his behavior. It's based on his behavior. Based on the duplicitousness. That's what a weasel does.
I'd rather just not do the name calling. I'm trying to make this group very civil. I mean, are you open to John kind of responding and maybe
no.
like listen? No.
Okay, well maybe. I'll say maybe.
I mean, I feel like maybe you could resolve it. Maybe John sees it differently. I don't know, but
it's strike 2 for me. This is almost strike 3, but it's actually strike 10. But okay, but I'll consider it one more time.
Yeah, I would think after that long commentary that you should actually give him a chance.
You know what? You're a.
Oh, you should have let me go at him, Haiti. I was about to give him a chunk.
I don't think. I mean, I feel like
what in the world does that have to do with anybody else in the room?
Here's the thing, like, I really want to enforce civility. If you guys want to respond to Silverstar, I'll let him back up.
Well, I don't know why he was so upset. I just thought that he should give John a chance to respond.
There's no name calling here, period. This is my classroom, right? And to take his analogy, there's no name calling. If Silverstar, if you want John to respond to you and hear him out in a civil way, I'm happy to bring you back. So I'll just try that. But
for clarification, Haiti, I'm not interested in having a conversation with him. But if John wants to, then I will not say anything else.
All right. So let's try this again. Okay, here we go. Okay. So I don't know.
You didn't want to come up?
Well, I sent an invite. I guess sometimes people just want to say their piece and then bounce. I don't know. I guess that's that. I guess you know, I don't want to. I think it's okay to like air your disputes, but I don't like the name calling and it's kind of a hit and run, you know. But okay, he said his piece. Whatever.
Yeah, I was about to get booted too, man, because I was about to break that rule on him.
Yeah, I mean, that's fine. I would have definitely, this is what I was going to say. With regard to me, I would just thank him for his perspective. But more importantly, he mentioned something about Connie, because there's a lot of speculation on that. And so that's the only thing I wanted to address. She texted me yesterday, which is, she said, tomorrow is the big day. The county must allow the moving of the tower, meaning a cell phone tower. So please agree with me and ask our Father to give the county supervisors the kind heart towards Juan, who owns the tower. If the county approves the move, then I will know when I will be connected again. And so this is what she texted me yesterday. And so any type of speculation, because there's a whole story that she was supposed to be connected on the 9th. That was delayed, obviously. And so, it so happened to coincide with this Darth Dawkins situation, her internet, okay? I've been in constant communication with Connie, and he just said that, he said what he said, but I just wanted to give the proper data for what's going on with Connie and why she's not here. That's awesome.
And that's fine. I just think usually people see things a little different, and sometimes you can just say, look, we remember it differently, let's just move on. We want to keep this relationship, you know. and then sometimes I guess the anger's too great, and the offense is too deep, and because I'm fairly sure, John, that you don't remember it as Silverstar laid it out, right? So what are you going to do?
Well,
I will say,
he's entitled to his perspective. His opinion is not for debate. You
no, I
do
know,
realize this, right?
yeah, of course, but
Okay,
what
well
I'm
then there you
saying
go.
is sometimes you have a fight with a friend and you never really agree on exactly who was on the wrong and what happened. So you either just never speak to them again, or you just agree that you remember it differently, and that's it, and you just sort of move on. But I guess that's not going to happen in this case. I will say I heard my voice on YouTube, and I was absolutely freaking mortified. So I feel bad for Connie, even though I know that sounds like that's not the reason she was offline.
Sometimes the just time reveals all truths, and so I just trust my God. That's this is how I leave it.
Can I ask just a simple question? I mean, when I just simply said I think John should have a chance after that long commentary, was there any need for him to go off like that? I mean, quite frankly, I think he could have probably summed it up in about 2 minutes. But
I'm
and then
glad he had to say what he said. To be honest with you, very in the way that he wanted to freely. I am glad that he was allowed to speak freely, and I am, to be honest, disappointed that you sent him down, Haiti, after what he said. It kind of robbed me of the opportunity to even just respond to him, but that's okay
Well,
too.
no, because I said we'll bring you back up if you want to hear John's response. But nobody's calling people weasels in my room. That's it. Period. I don't care who you
Yeah.
are.
Do you know I have a
I don't.
personal rule, Haiti, that if somebody sends me down, I don't go back up, and sometimes I've remained down there for 5-6 hours just listening when someone sent me down. And
well,
that's just my personal policy.
I will say to just Haiti's defense, because she wants to conduct this room in a respectful manner, I think she's just trying to simply get off on the right foot. So I can understand why she sent him down. And it's funny that she specifically gave him those guidelines, and yet he seemed to just not want to respect them. And I just think that was almost disrespectful to her, to be honest with you. And I don't know if he realized that, but I just felt like that response was uncalled for. And for
Yeah, I
Haiti,
mean,
I
look,
don't have any issue with her
yeah.
sending him down.
I don't know if you guys even saw the video. He mentioned Bubby, and so Bubby had quite a lot to say to me too. And I wasn't, I was gonna pretty much be very brief to thank him for his perspective. But if you really notice, they cut me off about 4 times. By the time they got to me, Bubby just left. And so
Yeah, I don't think.
sometimes people just want to have their say. Obviously, they don't
Yeah,
want to hear a response. And
I mean,
so
I
I
think
wasn't even about to give them a response. They just thought I was about to unload on a response. They don't know me. I don't do that.
I think most people here do not know who Bubby is. But Silverstar said he can't abide rudeness, and I agree. But then you can't go around calling people weasels and saying that's not an ad hom, it's the truth. Well, I don't care if it's the truth. It's rude. Period. So that's it. I'm not letting anyone call anyone anything. And they can cool down in the audience if they like and come back up and say, I shouldn't have said that. That's also something Darth says. He says it's not an ad hom, it's an observation. No, well, I don't care what you call it. It's rude. Don't be rude. Period. Done.
Well,
saying up yours? No. This is not behavior I want. I just don't want it.
Well, I'll tell you what, Haiti. Matt and I, we're not new to being called. A weasel is like at the number 2 or 3 out of a list on a scale of 10. Matt and I have endured scales 8, 9, and 10 relentlessly.
I would say that's a compliment. I would say that's for what you've received, John. That's a compliment.
Well, thank you, Daz. but here's the thing. Here's the thing, is that, well, I kind of lost my train of thought. But
Sorry.
no, it's okay. I mean, basically, Yeah, I just kind of lost my, but it's okay. I'll probably remember.
I mean, this drama is not our drama, and I'm a bit disappointed at the hit and run. That's all I'll say. Anyone else got thoughts?
I would agree. Honestly, I think to me, what he criticizes Darth over, I see the same thing in him. And if he wants to have a conversation about this, I think he needs to be willing to have someone be able to respond to what he sees instead of, that type of response. I mean, what I saw from an outsider looking in is someone who basically just wanted to come in here, establish his credentials, and then dump all over John, and for 3 minutes or more straight, and then, um, you know, maybe I shouldn't have said that. Maybe I shouldn't have said, yeah, I think John should have a chance to respond after that long commentary. But the irony of it was he'd done the same thing to me a few weeks ago, talking about me rambling on too long. So to me, I think if he wants to have a conversation, he needs to be willing to let people actually have the conversation. And I think the thing he criticizes Darth for, he can be criticized for equally.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're either done with someone or you want to work it out with them, right? You can't just unloading
Yeah.
and then bouncing. Like if with them, why even bother talking to them? It's over, right? You're not
But this
looking
was kind of,
yeah.
yeah. And this goes into what I was talking about, like people wanting to be right instead of like being nice. It's like Silverstar doesn't have it in him to be nice, sadly.
Let me
And
clarify.
yeah, I find it very disappointing because he says he's a Christian, and I didn't see a Christian coming in here talking to John.
Hey, Frode, I will say this, okay? Like, I like to listen to people because, like, okay, sometimes Darth is not here, and people talk about him and express what they feel about him and so forth. Um, you guys are more than welcome to talk about Silverstar as well. But because of the fact that it involved me personally, I guess I'm kind of not comfortable with this discussion here. If that makes any sense.
Yeah,
Yeah,
let's move on. Let's move on.
I was just going to say something unrelated to John, but it's more about Darth and Silverstar. I think Darth has a gift from God, a particular avenue in which I think he's very effective. I'm not saying Darth is not a Christian. I think Silverstar has a gift from God, and he's very effective. I've listened to both of them, and I don't have any problems with either one of them's teachings. I think they have gifts from God. And at the moment, it's just, a brotherly conflict among believers. And I'm not going to take anything away from either one of their abilities to do what they do. And, I would listen to Darth and I would listen to Silverstar. But I think both of them and I think they need to kind of have a little bit of understanding that, no one's perfect. And I think it'd be good to see them come to a cordial conversation and talk it out, but I don't see that happening anytime soon.
I just think we're going to end up on Tom Rabbit again, which is really annoying.